good to be with you. I am really looking forward to the GRC Summit. You know, my friend and colleague, Carol Switzer, was the keynote speaker at the last in-person GRC Summit, and she had a wonderful time. She particularly loved interacting with so many GRC professionals, leaders, and influencers, and I'm looking forward to it just as well. A little bit about me. Well, I'm a father, a husband, I'm a sailor and a skier, and I'm a cancer survivor. My career has been rich and diverse. I started as an engineer and I used to design and build nuclear power plants. I've done many types of consulting. I've done strategy, process, technology implementation, but no part of my career was as exciting and rewarding as my work in GRC. It all started with the meltdown of several companies, perhaps most well-known Enron. You might also remember WorldCom. Those meltdowns led the US government to pass legislation that was the most sweeping legislation in securities law in many, many, many years. I speak, of course, about Sarbanes-Oxley, the 2002 legislation. In response to Sarbanes-Oxley, I co-founded and led a consulting practice, focused on helping clients to deal with the variety of challenges that came across from this legislation, especially the requirements with regard to internal controls. Now, my work in Sarbanes-Oxley and my point of view attracted a lot of attention, a lot of notoriety, some of it quite surprising. You know, being identified as one of the 100 most influential people in finance. 3 years in a row. The only other person that did that was Warren Buffett. His bank account's a little bigger than mine. So dealing with Sarbanes-Oxley is what led to GRC. And I was there at the birth of and the development of the GRC movement. In those early days, GRC was not immediately accepted. In fact, in one of the many articles that I wrote, I remember, and I'll read to you, in the complex and constantly changing sea of acronyms and abbreviations and other abstractions, there is one that is simultaneously met with affirmation and apathy, confirmation and confusion, and recognition and rejection. That was GRC then. Perhaps in the minds of some, it still is. Now, my interest in GRC has persisted over the last 20 years. Perhaps it's because it's even more important today and has grown more challenging. Now, the first article I ever wrote, I co-authored an article dealing with Sarbanes-Oxley and improving governance called The Currency of Good Governance. And that was published in May of 2003. And in that article, I talk about the importance of having high quality information, IQ, information quality. Today, IQ is as important as it was then.